Lep pozdrav, spoštovani, spoštovane, dobrodošli v Muzeju za arhitekturo in oblikovanje na današnjem simpoziju Made in, dialog oblikovanja in obrti, ki se odvija v sklopu evropskega projekta platforme Made in, povezovanje obrti in oblikovanja. Evropskega projekta, ki povezuje 6 organizacij, ki vzpostavljajo skozi različne dogodke, aktivnosti povezovanja med obrtniki, raziskovalci in oblikovalci in nastavljajo in raziskujejo, predstavljajo nove ideje, novo sodobno produkcijo, preizprašujejo aktualna vprašanja današnjega življenja, probleme sodobne produkcije, oblikovalske, materialov in tako naprej. Skratka, aktivnosti, ki so pravzaprav zelo zanimive in pomembne tako za Center za kreativnost, ki je eden od organizatorjev in sokuratorjev tega dogodka, poleg Muzeja za arhitekturo in oblikovanje seveda, in muzeja, ki ta vprašanja naslavlja že pravzaprav skoraj 10 let. Nenazadnje je nastavek tega projekta izhaja iz Bienala oblikovanja Bio 50 in res nas veseli, da se je uspel realizirati v tem čudovitem projektu in partnerstvu z organizacijami, ki so danes z nami virtualno, ampak vseeno. Tako da se jim v imenu muzeja najlepše zahvaljujem in predvsem upam, da se bo vsa ta sodelovanja, ki so se vzpostavila tekom tega večletnega projekta, nadaljevala tudi v prihodnosti po zaključku projekta. Tako da obenem se pa zahvaljujem ekipi muzeja, Maji Vardjan, Cvetki Požar, Nikolu Pongracu in seveda Centra za kreativnost Urški Krivograd, Miki Cimolini, da je ta projekt in ta sodelovanje pripeljala danes do tega dogodka in razstave, ki si jo boste lahko ogledali v nadaljevanju. Tako da hvala lepa in želim lep dan in seveda vabljeni tudi na razstavo. Hvala.
Lepo pozdravljeni tudi v najinem imenu. Sva eni od kustosin tega projekta. Moje ime je Maja Vardjan in sem zaposlena v muzeju kot muzejska svetovalka, kot kustosinja za arhitekturo in oblikovanje. In skupaj z Nikolo Pongracom, ki je tamle, Nikola, nas pozdraviš, in pa Katarino Nachtigal. Katarina, smo v bistvu ožja ekipa, ki je sodelovala v 2-letnem procesu projekta, ki ga je omenila že Anja, projekta, ki je skupaj z 6 partnerji in 4 evropskih držav delal na razvoju projekta Made in, pripovedi in obrti in oblikovanja.
Lep pozdrav, sem Cvetka Požar, kustosinja v MAO in kot je že Maja povedala, soorganizatorka pri projektu, sourednica kataloga in tudi sokustosinja razstave. Danes pač žal zaradi situacije, v kateri se vsi nahajamo, partnerji pač ne morejo biti z nami in so pa pripravili vnaprej posnete izjave. Tako da vodilni partner pri tem projektu je Muzej za umetnost in obrt iz Zagreba in Koraljka Vlajo, kustosinja iz tega muzeja, bo na kratko predstavila strukturo projekta, pobudnice projekta Ivana Borovnjak in pa Maja Kolar iz oblikovalske skupine Oaza, pa v nadaljevanju še bolj detaljno predstavljajo izhodišča samega projekta in pa seveda celoten koncept. Tako da vas vabim, da se najprej ogledamo to kratek uvod njihov.
Hello from Museum of Arts and Crafts in Zagreb, the leading partner in Made in project. My name is Koraljka Vlajo. I am a curator at the museum and a member of Made in team. So I'll tell you a few words about our project. Made in was based on a smaller scale research project by Oaza started in 2014, but it became an international project in 2018 when it received the funding from European Union and its Creative Europe program. We are now 6 partners from 4 countries, very much different in size and social focus, but similar in our views of importance of preservation of local crafts, skill and knowledge. So we are altogether Museum of Arts and Crafts and Oaza Art Organization from Croatia, Verukram from Austria, Mixer and Nova Iskra from Serbia, and of course Museum of Architecture and Design from Slovenia. But what is Made In? Made In is a research, design, and heritage platform that encourages collaboration and knowledge exchange between craftspeople and designer. At the same time, Made In tries to engage also the other researchers, curators, and theoreticians in asking relevant questions about contemporary production, role of crafts, the designer responsibility, etc. In that vein, during the last 2 years, we have carried out various activities. Let's call it 3-pronged approach. So we have established an online craft archive, which serves to collect detailed data on local craftspeople. We have conducted design workshops and residencies in each country, researching the possibilities of learning and collaboration between designers and craftspeople. And we have also made a traveling exhibition to promote the project's ideas and accomplishments, which means the physical craft archive and, of course, results of all the workshops and residencies. Premier exhibition was held in Zagreb from mid-February to mid-March this year, and it is now at the moment on show in Ljubljana. And now Ivana and Maya from Oaza will tell you a little bit more about the beginnings of the project.
Thank you, Korelka, for the introduction, and also the Museum of Architecture and Design for this opportunity to tell you a little bit more about the platform and how it started all together. We are glad that we can join also, but sad that it has to be via Zoom. And a recorded lecture. But if we are talking about the beginning of the Made In project, it's important to also say that there are many reasons why in the last decade artists and designers have turned to craft. Some because they prefer the higher quality of objects, some primarily address the social implications of manufacturing and emphasize the work of craftspeople based on tacit knowledge and skills inherited from past generations. Some found the imperfections of the manufacturing process beautiful, but in fact most were forced with the processes of moving production eastward to become entrepreneurs themselves, who now simultaneously control all stages of the production process, from ideation to distribution again. And we are witnessing such processes in Croatia as well. So this was in fact a beginning of our project in 2014, as Korelka already mentioned. So these conditions of transition in which industry was swept away by the processes of privatization left very little space for professional designers in Croatia to exercise design in practice, and actually out of necessity some designers turned towards production on their own, and some saw the opportunities in collaboration with the remaining craftspeople. This was one of the triggers for us to invest ourselves in establishing communication with fellow neighborhood craftspeople in the vicinity of our studio in Ilica Street. I forgot to mention that we are primarily an independent design collective. So we started mapping the remaining small workshops that are one by one disappearing from Ilica Street in Zagreb. This is one of the longest streets in the city, and continued working on the development of the project within Bio50. It was it's called the nanotourism. This fraction that started and was initiated by the Kleva Gregoric architects. And the first version of the exhibition was displayed also then in a Museum of Architecture and Design in Ljubljana, where we are actually at the moment seeing the exhibition and having this conference. And so extensive research and establishing ongoing dialogue with craftspeople and local community led to shifting the focus of the project from mere willingness to produce new objects towards old school Ilica educational model, in which all of the parties sharing geolocation and working and living situation could benefit of. In practice, it meant that we were developing a network based on collaboration and co-creation, and were using knowledge as an exchange currency between local craftspeople, designers, and residents through various formats of open days, workshops, talks, and exhibition. On a larger scale, it also meant that the project is investigating impacts of bottom-up strategies on the economy of Ilica Street in Zagreb, and consequently on sustaining its identity. In its current stage, the project proposes a model for self-sustainable development of local community by means of social design. This turned out to be a good experiment, and through it we developed some products with local craftspeople and promoted the project through bigger events to a wider audience. And it was naturally a beginning, or Made In platform was basically an organic continuation of the project that we already started, which now in this format refers to anonymous and inhumane production of today, which is already visible in its title. And it emphasizes the position of design with a reference to its source, craftsmanship and making.
When the project originally started, in between the aforementioned partners, it was important for us to gather organizations, institutions, and also initiatives who were covering different perspectives. Our own position being the one of a field researcher that was intertwined with one of museums as a keeper of heritage, such as MAO from Ljubljana and MUO from Zagreb, and of course those acting at cross-section for craft and craft representation with the Association of Werk am Bregenzerwald from Austria. Also included, there were independent cultural organization from Belgrade, Serbia, where we found partners in Nova Iskra and Mixa Festival. We all started mutually acting as collectors and archivists of material knowledge in all 4 countries, as mediators between designers and craftspeople through workshop and residency formats, and eventually curators of Made In Crafts and Design Narratives exhibition as an outcome of this 2-year process. This exhibition that you have a chance to see in the beautiful space of MAO in Ljubljana gathers works of designers and their craft collaborators. It is imagined to instigate a debate about the relationship of design and crafts, but also about the broader topics of preservation of knowledge, the role of technology in production processes, sustainable production, material resources, etc. Exhibition and accompanying website are divided in 2 different parts. First part is the Crafts Archive, that brings together a selection of 40 knowledge holders and their traditional crafts ranging from Croatia, Slovenia, Austria, and Serbia, thoroughly documented through texts based on unstructured interviews and photography, explaining in its entirety the background, history, materials, tools, different techniques, processes, and key products for each of the holders. This starting selection of craftspeople, 10 per each country, although small, serve as a showcase for status of local crafts in all of these countries. The participating craftspeople were chosen for their superior craft knowledge, the level of endangerment to their craft, their representativeness for the area, but also for their geographical position, which varied in all of the 4 examples. This type of researching and archiving are important for understanding the value that crafts carry for the future, but also for problematizing the fact that most of the traditional crafts knowledge and skills, especially those referring to the embodied knowledge transferred from the master to the apprentice, are soon disappearing. The second segment and the crucial part of the exhibition is the so-called crafts design narratives. They refer to 8 specific narratives that emerge through a 2-year process, carried by each country separately, addressing issues specific to the local production context. The narratives are results of the workshops and residencies conducted through collaborations of design professionals and craftspeople, and are here presented through different formats and media. The curatorial concept is based around the questions that appear through design and artist works based on local context, but also based on their affinities and previous work, which was primary reason for selecting the collaborators in the first place. The range of topics goes from preserving knowledge through means of new technologies, questioning sourcing, processing, and exploitation of materials, building communities and social networks within the city, learning practical skills from craftspeople and building stronger, longer-lasting relationships between craftspeople and designers, reinterpreting and implementing tradition in contemporary design practice, and so forth. The range of topics will hopefully expand with each following host institution displaying this traveling exhibition, which we hope will have a long afterlife and future, which would include many more representatives. That's it from us. We're sad to miss you in real life, but hope you get to enjoy the conference, the following speakers, and the exhibition. Thanks for having us.
Torej, ob tej zelo natančni predstavitvi koncepta Made in Ivane in Maje se bova tukaj midve osredotočili predvsem na del projekta, ki smo ga izvajali v Sloveniji. Kot rečeno, Made in je platforma, ki združuje raziskovanje, oblikovanje in dediščino ter spodbuja sodelovanje in izmenjavo znanja med tradicionalnimi rokodelci in sodobnimi oblikovalci. Raziskava rokodelstva, ki je predstavljala uvodni del projekta, je bila v Sloveniji fokusirana dejansko na celotno državo, v Avstriji na regijo, na Hrvaškem in v Srbiji pa na posamezne mestne četrti. Pri izboru 10 rokodelcev za Made in projekt smo izhajali iz tradicionalnih obrti, a smo skušali izbrati take, ki imajo potencial za prihodnost in da se s tem ukvarjajo ljudje, ki iščejo nove priložnosti za svoje dejavnosti. Skozi raziskavo smo zaznali določene skupne lastnosti, razlike in težave, ki opredeljujejo stanje rokodelstva v Sloveniji. Izstopajoča skupna lastnost je ustvarjanje na osnovi veščin in znanja, ki so jim ga predali predniki ali mojstri rokodelstva. Med temi nekateri zvesto sledijo tradiciji in ustvarjajo trajnostne izdelke, ki jih v življenjskem ciklu skoraj ne rabimo menjati. Drugi, sicer bolj redki, so tradicionalne pristope prilagodili tržnim zahtevam in s tem uspešno prodrli tudi izven Slovenije.
Zanimanje za ročno izdelane predmete v zadnjem času narašča tako strani oblikovalcev kot uporabnikov. Vsi vemo, kam nas je pripeljala pretirana industrializacija, globalizacija in pa tudi vedno večja digitalizacija našega vsakdanjega življenja in zato mnogi stremimo k odgovornejšemu življenjskemu slogu. In pri tem je seveda pomembno, kje, kako in predvsem zakaj je bil izdelek, ki ga uporabljamo, narejen. Danes se vedno bolj obračamo k izdelkom, ki so lokalno proizvedeni, ki imajo znano poreklo, ki so iz naravnih materialov. In med tovrstne seveda spadajo tudi izdelki, ki so proizvedeni s počasnimi, pogosto ročnimi metodami, ki v veliki meri omogočajo trajnejše in bolj kakovostne izdelke. Tovrstna produkcija ima v primerjavi s standardiziranimi, hitrimi načini proizvodnje tudi večjo vrednost, tako v smislu procesa izdelave, kot pa potem samega izdelka. Zdaj, sami oblikovalci, med nami jih je precej danes, se z idejo ročne izdelave ukvarjajo na različne načine. Spremenjenimi razmerji na polju oblikovanja v postindustrijski situaciji, se tudi oni usmerjajo v lokalne produkcije, omejene serije, do-it-yourself projekte, kjer oblikovalci pogosto zasnujejo, izdelajo pa tudi tržijo svoje izdelke sami. Vendar, če pogledamo na splošno, ne samo našo lokalno, ampak tudi širšo sliko, večina teh projektov oziroma izdelkov poudarja predvsem mojstrstvo, veščine in tehnike, le redki pa so tisti, ki se skozi raziskovanje procesov ročne izdelave, bodisi sami, bodisi v sodelovanju z rokodelci in obrtniki, ukvarjajo tudi s širšimi, aktualnimi, socialnimi, političnimi in predvsem okoljevarstvenimi problematikami.
Projekt Made in je ponudil priložnost, da smo si lahko zastavljali številna vprašanja. Kaj je namen sodelovanja med rokodelci in oblikovalci? Kaj to omogoči? Nadaljevanje obrti ali morda celo obstoj na trgu? Ali še kaj več? Morda tudi ozaveščanje o smotrnejši izrabi virov, rabi lokalnih materialov in do okolja prijaznega načina izdelave. A ne nazadnje, sodelovanja so lahko zelo spodbudna, a hkrati tudi zelo naporna. Dejstvo je, da je veliko tradicionalnih obrti danes v času, ko prevladuje potrošniški način življenja pred izginotjem. Mnoge pa so že izginile. Nekatere obrti se dejansko ohranjajo zgolj samo še skozi muzejsko dejavnost, kot je na primer pri nas slamnikarstvo. Drugi so tradicionalne izdelave prilagodili tržnim zahtevam. Spreminjajo se tudi potrebe. Danes nihče več ne uporablja velikih lesenih posod, ki so se sicer mojstrsko izdelane v skladu s trajnostnim načinom sobivanja z naravo, ker dejansko so jih že davno nadomestile plastične posode, oziroma danes tudi zelo redki sami pridelujejo hrano, ampak jo večinoma kupimo v trgovini. Seveda pa to ne pomeni, da spretnosti in znanja nosilcev izginjajočih obrti lahko pogrešamo ali da nimajo potenciala za prihodnost. Vprašanje ohranjanja tradicionalnih obrti moramo danes usmeriti v smer spremembe pogleda na nekaj, kar lahko omogoči preživetje nečemu, kar morda nima več razloga, da bi obstajalo, a ima hkrati določene za prihodnost pomembne vrednosti, katere ne želimo, da izginejo. Ravno to je lahko presečišče sodelovanj med oblikovalci in rokodelci.
Made in projekt je bil namenoma zasnovan kot odprt, vendar moderiran oziroma kuriran proces raziskovanja možnosti povezav rokodelstva in obrti s sodobnim oblikovanjem. Tiste, ki ste videli razstave, verjetno že veste, da je šlo za relativno kratke, začasne interakcije med oblikovalci in rokodelci v času trajanja projekta. In zaradi tega je bil projekt v veliki meri zastavljen kot eksperiment, ki temelji na izmenjavi znanj in izkušenj. Ta sodelovanja so se razvijala skozi proces, ta proces pa je bil osvobojen običajnih delovnih razmerij in pa ciljev v smislu komercializacije produktov. Tako da je vprašanje o zaključku tega procesa namenoma ostalo odprto. Kar pa velja za vse projekte je to, da so kritično pristopali k fenomenu tega vedno večjega interesa oblikovalcev in uporabnikov za tradicionalno rokodelstvo in obrti. In pri tem nismo bili pretirano nostalgični, nismo promovirali ohranjanja izgubljenih tradicij za vsako ceno, nismo izpostavljali virtuoznosti in mojstrstva zaradi mojstrstva samega, ampak smo ga cepili z inovativnim mišljenjem, tako rokodelcev, tukaj poudarjam predvsem inovativnim mišljenjem rokodelcev, ker v svojem bistvu je rokodelsko inovativna dejavnost. In pa seveda tudi oblikovalcev in s njimi skupaj skušali razviti neke nove, sveže in pa seveda aktualne pripovedi.
Prenos veščin, ki so v preteklosti omogočala sobivanje z našim okoljem, revitalizacija tradicionalnih tehnik in odkrivanje možnosti njihove alternativne uporabe je nekaj, kar lahko vodi k številnim rešitvam za prihodnost, ki jih je v današnjem svetu vsekakor treba iskati. K temu lahko pripelje sodelovanje, povezovanje in predvsem odprtost za sprejem znanja. Pridobljene izkušnje in znanje so lahko pot k drugim novim ustvarjalnim procesom. Sedaj pa nadaljujemo s temi 3 panelnimi diskusijami, v okviru katerih se bo predstavilo 11 slovenskih oblikovalcev in rokodelcev ter partner pri projektu Geološki zavod Slovenije. Prvi 2 diskusiji bosta vodili Urška Krivograd, koordinatorka Centra za kreativnost, in Mika Cimolini, poslovni vodja Centra za kreativnost. Kot rečeno že, Center za kreativnost je pridružen partner pri projektu Made in, ki aktivno podpira ravno to vrstna sodelovanja.